This video is brought to you by Humix. So I recently reviewed the Apple Watch Series 8, which is an incredible feature-packed Apple Watch. However, with its release, the previous Apple Watch Series 7 just became more affordable. So the question is, if you're coming from an older Apple Watch Series 4, 5, 6, or SE and are looking to upgrade, do you go for the latest and greatest Apple Watch Series 8, or do you save a bit of cash and go for the Series 7? To answer this, today we'll look at the differences and crucially the similarities between the Series 8 and Series 7 to find out which is the better buy. As always, I will leave the purchase links down in the description. But first, I am doing a giveaway on this brand new iPhone 14 in this beautiful blue color. If you want a chance to win, be sure to subscribe, like this video, and comment your favorite feature of the Apple Watch along with your Instagram username. And then follow me on Instagram where I will announce the winner on November the 27th. Okay, so to start, let's compare the prices of both models. Now, Apple currently sells the Apple Watch Series 8 for $399, and this is for the 41mm version that I have here. Now, Apple no longer sells the Series 7, however, on third-party websites such as eBay or Amazon, I could easily find it for around $299, and this is also for the 41mm version. By the way, if you're not sure which size to get, I have done a size comparison comparing the 41mm to the 45mm version Apple Watch, which I'll leave linked down in the description. But that is to say that a $100 price difference between the Series 8 and Series 7 is not an insignificant amount. So really, the question is, what do you sacrifice for that $100 price difference? The key differences between the Series 7 and Series 8 can be broken down into four main parts. First, the Series 8, which I believe is this one, yes, they are starting to look the same, will have a brighter always-on display. And this really is noticeable in day-to-day use. However, it is important to note that the maximum brightness is the same on the Series 7 as well as the Series 8, meaning that in direct sunlight or very bright conditions, both screens are easy to look at and read. The Series 8 also adds a range of temperature sensors. Now, at the moment, these are primarily used for women's health features, more specifically cycle tracking, which may appeal to quite a large number of users. And then when it comes to safety features, the Series 8 adds crash detection. Now, this is similar to fall detection, where it will detect if you're ever in a severe car crash and then automatically call 911 if you do not respond. This is not a must-have feature, but sure is reassuring to have in the background. But then the fourth and perhaps most important difference between the Series 8 and Series 7 is that the Series 8 comes with the new Apple S8 chip. Now, this is an upgrade compared to the previous S7 chip found on the Series 7 and should result in better performance. Now, I can tell you that in day-to-day, the performance differences are relatively small. However, certain apps like mail or messages, bigger applications, do launch quicker on the Series 8. But more importantly is that this newer chip also means that the Series 8 will get more years of software support. Now, I would estimate the S7 chip on the Series 7 to get anywhere from 4 to 5 years of software support, where the Series 8 S8 chip I would suggest to get around 5 to 6 years. So this is around 1 to 2 year difference between the two devices. So if you are looking for a really long-term investment, this is a compelling reason to jump over to the Series 8. But perhaps more important than the differences between these two watches are what these two have in common. But before we get into that, no matter which Apple Watch you choose, it is essential to use some good protection. And this is where the sports silicone band kits from Humix come in. Available from the Series 4 up to the Series 8, as well as the SE in both screen sizes, these kits allow you to customize your Apple Watch. Each kit comes with a sports band in burgundy, green, or black, and each also comes with not one, but 3 cases to protect your Apple Watch in black, rose gold, and clear. The bands use a German Bayer silicone for a very comfortable fit. The silicone is resilient, durable, and strong. The band also has a liquid coating, which means it is more stain resistant as well as easy to clean. And then the dual aluminum alloy buckle is extra secure to prevent your watch from getting loose and falling off. And then there's the military grade edge bumper case, which is certified by SGS, these cases are shockproof to protect the edges of your watch from scratches, drops, and bumps, all while not obstructing the design of your watch. To learn more about these sports silicone bands from Humix, be sure to click the links in the description. A big thank you to Humix for supporting the channel. Now back to the Apple Watch comparison. You know, I think Apple's biggest competition for the Apple Watch is not another brand, but rather itself. More specifically, previous generations of the Apple Watch, which are now more affordable. Exactly what I mean with the Series 7 compared to the Series 8. And I think this shows in the fact that the Series 7 and Series 8 have a lot in common. To start from the outside, they are practically the same. I wasn't joking when earlier I couldn't identify between them, as the dimensions and the design, from the color, the buttons, the digital crown, the screen, it's all identical. And I think this is okay. I think Apple utilizes the limited space that you get in such a small device very well, with a large screen with thin bezels and a very elegant design that not only sits comfortably on the wrist, but is also easy to slide under the cuff if, say, you wear a suit. The most important feature that both watches have in common is that always-on display. Now, if you've seen any of my other Apple Watch content, you will know that I really enjoy having the always-on display, and why for me it is worth upgrading from the SE to the Series 8 or 7 Apple Watch, as this feature allows you to see your time on the watch face at all times without having to turn your wrist, so you can more subtly check the time, and also I think looks a lot better to always have the watch face showing rather than a black screen. Along with both having that always-on display, both also have slightly larger displays compared to their SE counterparts, as well as having those curved bezels that kind of go around the edge of the display. And this 1mm difference in screen space, comparing the 41mm Series 8, Series 7 compared to the 40mm SE1 and SE2, may sound small, but on a watch this small, 1mm goes a long way. I also think the thinner, curved bezels look much more modern, and content literally flows on and off the display. Very nice. Both the Series 7 as well as the Series 8 run watchOS 9, meaning they get all the latest features in terms of the software, and this includes the new power mode, which will give you up to 36 hours of use out of the batteries. And speaking of battery, I found the battery life between the Series 7 and Series 8 to be identical, which means that for my setup, both watches can last me all day and evening with around 20% or so remaining. By the way, if you want to see how I've set up my watch to get the most out of the features as well as the battery life, I have done a more comprehensive Apple Watch guide, which I'll leave linked in the description. Both watches also get the fast charging, which means you can charge from around 0 to 80% in just 30 minutes. And this is great if you're like me and charge your watch in the morning whilst getting ready for the day. Both also get the very small, but still useful on-screen keyboard. Now, it does take a little bit of getting used to, but once you do, you can comfortably type out a line or two, and this is a feature that I do miss on the SE. The Series 8 and Series 7 also have the same 50 meters of water resistance, which technically makes them swim-proof. In other words, you can also easily wear them in the rain or during a sweaty workout. Many people get the Apple Watch for its health features, and here too, the Series 7 and Series 8 have a lot in common. Both have the ability to read and take an ECG, as well as measure your blood oxygen and do 24-hour heart rate monitoring with high and low rate notifications as well. Now, the only difference between the Series 7 and Series 8 is that, again, the Series 8 does have those temperature sensors for women's health. Speaking of health and safety, both watches also get fall detection, which will detect if you ever fall and then automatically call 911 if you do not respond. Now, the Series 8 does take this one step further with crash detection. But as you can see, the Series 7 and Series 8 do have a lot in common. So which of the two should you buy? Well, I think that the most important Apple Watch features you will find both on the Series 7 as well as the Series 8. And this includes the larger always-on display with thinner bezels, the core health features, ECG, constant heart rate monitoring, and fall detection, as well as having the same good battery life, plus fast charging. The biggest things that you'll miss on the Series 7 versus the Series 8 is that newer S8 chip. Now, don't get me wrong, the S7 chip still performs great today, although there are some slight differences with bigger apps, but this will be more noticeable in the long run, where the S8 chip will get an additional 1 to 2 years of software support. And then finally, there's crash detection, which I think is reassuring to have, but for most, I don't think will be a must-have feature. But all in all, for $100 less, the Series 7 is an excellent value watch that still packs all of those great features. And I think for $100 less, I actually think that the Series 7 is a better value proposition compared to the Series 8, offering more Apple Watch for your dollar. Anyway, I hope that helps you out with your buying decision if you're picking between the Series 7 and the Series 8. Again, if you want the latest and greatest, the Series 8 will not disappoint. But if you are conscious of spending, I think in this case it is worth saving that $100 and going for the Series 7 instead. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't seen them yet, I highly recommend watching my Series 7 review as well as my Series 8 review to learn more about both of these watches. And if you've just got your Apple Watch, be sure to check out my full Apple Watch guide. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.